With games like Helldivers, Power World, Enshrouded, Nightingale, and Final Fantasy Rebirth, 2024 has been a brilliant year for gaming, and I've had a lot of fun. Honestly, I think 2025 is going to be even better. There are so many games that I'm excited about, even accounting for the fact half of them will probably slip into 2026. But today I thought I'd talk about 20 of these games and why I'm excited for them. Hopefully there's something in here that you haven't heard of and can get excited about too. Ark 2 is the hopefully upcoming, sequel to the popular survival game Ark Survival Evolved. Set in a massive open world environment filled with dinosaurs, players must survive, craft, and explore alongside their tribes. This time, the game introduces a deeper focus on melee combat, advanced traversal mechanics, and a much more immersive storyline featuring Vin Diesel for some reason as the character Santiago, who I'm sure will introduce us to his family. I love Ark. I have more hours in Ark Survival Evolved than any other game I've ever played, other than maybe Halo 3 or Halo Reach. I'm super excited for Ark 2, even after the lackluster and still very broken Ark Survival Ascended. It's probably silly of me. I'm likely going to be super disappointed, but I just can't help it. I love dinosaurs and I love base building games. I also love any game that lets you tame or breed animals, as well as any game with boss arena type combat. Ark has all of this, but from the sounds of the combat in Ark 2, it'll be a bit better with that Conan style snap and dash type combat system. It also sounds like there'll be more value on each of your pet dinos and more variety to the taming methods. I can't wait to see how much of this is as I hope and how much of it is just a wild disappointment. Light No Fire is an upcoming open world survival game from No Man's Sky developers Hello Games. However, this one is set on a single procedurally generated planet and exploration is the huge focus of the game. And this may just be another base builder type game, but it has huge scope. I love the aesthetics and the mounts and the characters in this game. I definitely want to be a bunny person riding around on a giant kingfisher. It just sounds super cute to me, to be honest. This game looks epic and beautiful, but man, we have to hope that Hello Games have learned from the mess of No Man's Sky. Which, to be honest, if the last few years of No Man's Sky is something to base our hope on, maybe they have, and maybe this is going to be a great game. Now, I feel like I don't even have to introduce Fable. Who hasn't heard of Fable? But for those in the back, Fable is the sequel to a series of beloved cult classic RPGs filled with humour and set in a very immersive, fantastical world. The sequel seemingly maintains the charm and humour of the prequels, but with the addition of much more modern graphics. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Who doesn't love a well-built fantasy RPG? I love games where the narratives change based on my choices, and the humour in previous Fables was something I enjoyed. All of this with modern graphics? Yes, please. Dune Awakening is an upcoming open-world survival MMO set in the iconic Dune universe developed by Funcom. Combining the survival elements of games like Conan Exiles with the epic scale of Arrakis, players must explore vast deserts, gather resources and build shelters whilst navigating deadly sandstorms and colossal sandworms. I love the world of Dune. I've read the books, watched every movie, and I'm even enjoying this new series on Now TV. And I loved Conan Exiles. I am super excited for a combination of the two. However, I'm a bit worried though, after being a day one player of Conan Exiles. I do think this game will likely launch as a very bare basic game with half the features we do want, before becoming something epic over the next few years of additional development. Atomfall is an upcoming survival action game developed by Rebellion. It's set in an alternate history 1950s Britain. Inspired by real-world events like the Windscale nuclear disaster, this game combines an eerie post-apocalyptic themes with the British countryside charm. Players must navigate a world filled with radiation, mutated threats and dark conspiracies, while scavenging for resources, crafting and surviving the dangers that lurk in the environment. More of an RPG than a survival game, but I love most post-apocalypse settings. I particularly love Fallout and its time setting, which draws on that post-war era but dragged forward in time. Atomfall has similar vibes to me, but British. I may be biased, but I feel like this might be something I enjoy. I'm sure it will likely be full of goofy ass stereotypes, but other than this, it's something that looks like a lot of fun to me. And then there's Sand. Sand is an upcoming open world survival shooter set in a vast, desolate desert environment. Developed by Hooded Horse, this game takes place on a war-torn, abandoned alien planet where players pilot massive, customizable walking mechs called tramps to explore, scavenge and survive. The focus on cooperative gameplay, resource extraction and intense PvPvE encounters, players must navigate the harsh terrains, fend off threats, and compete with other factions for valuable loot. Sand blends survival, strategy, and mech-driven exploration to deliver a unique and challenging experience in a striking sci-fi desert world. Sand is something a bit different. You have your mechs that you travel across the sand attacking other people's mechs with. Growing up, I loved the Mortal Engine book series, and this gives me those kind of vibes almost. I'm excited to hop on a sandcrawler with my friends and the panic and screaming that undoubtedly will occur when we try to turn other people's stuff into our stuff. Now, are you even an RPG gamer if you don't know about the Witcher series? The Witcher 4 is the next installment in CD Projekt Red's acclaimed Witcher series. Built on Unreal Engine 5, the game promises to deliver a visually stunning and immersive open-world RPG experience. Now, it has only just been announced, so details do still remain scarce, but it marks the beginning of a new saga within the Witcher universe, moving beyond Geralt of Rivia's story and focusing on new characters and narratives. Now, I'm a huge Witcher fan. I've read all the books, played all the games, and I didn't even hate most of the TV series. I love that in the new game we're playing as Ciri, a very angry looking Ciri who potentially has some unresolved issues that I'm sure we will get to unravel. It was great playing as her in The Witcher 3 for a bit, and I'm excited to see how we get to use her powers in 4. I'm sure her combat style will be much more power focused than Geralt's was. I do also wonder if they've worked out how to make witches again. I may be wrong, but I think to be able to drink the potions and not die, you have to have gone through the Trial of Grasses, or maybe it's just Ciri's powers helping her survive. Brilliant RPG in a brilliant setting made by a brilliant team. What's not to be excited about? Now, Kingmakers is an upcoming medieval warfare sandbox game that blends large-scale battles with modern mechanics. Developed by the Iterative Collection, the game throws players into an epic, chaotic conflicts where they can command troops, wield powerful medieval weaponry, and influence the battlefield. What sets Kingmakers apart is a unique twist. Modern technology like drones, airstrikes, and firearms can be brought into the medieval setting, creating a wild and unpredictable clash of errors. Not gonna lie, this game just looks crazy. I just want to mindlessly spray down entire armies with my machine gun, and defend my castle with an RPG. Looks mental. I'm in. State of Decay 3 is a sequel in the zombie survival series developed by Undead Labs. Building on the foundations of its predecessors, the game promises a more immersive and polished experience, with enhanced visuals powered by UE5. Set in a post-apocalyptic open world, players will scavenge for resources, build and manage communities, and fight to survive against relentless hordes of undead. Now, I played State of Decay 1 the day it came out and didn't stop for weeks. I love this game. 2 was disappointing though, and I really hope they learn from this. I just want to be able to build a base with my friends and have us panic and grieve as we lose our permadeath characters. Please be good. I've waited so many years for this game. Former developers from Bethesda, BioWare and Naughty Dog bring you a sandbox RPG realm of anthropomorphic animals and fairy creatures. Play co-op or solo as you build a village of memorable NPCs, farm, craft, explore, and celebrate the seasons in an ever-changing world bigger than you. I love the Wind in the Willows aesthetics to Hawthorn. I think this game might be a bit too cozy for my liking, but the aesthetics alone are making me going to try it with my friends at the very least. Now, Light of Motiram is an upcoming action RPG set in a mythical ancient world full of powerful magic and rich lore. Players step into the shoes of a hero tasked with uncovering the secrets of a lost city of Motiram, where light and dark forces battle for control. This game features a dynamic combat system, puzzle solving and exploration, with an emphasis on player choice that affects the world and stories. Now look, I understand the controversy to this game, and its obvious inspiration or just outright copying of other people's homework. But I love Pokemon, which made me excited for Power World, and I love Power World. I love Horizon Zero Dawn, so I'm excited for Light of Motiram, and I'm sure I'm going to love Light of Motiram. I don't feel like it's my place really to worry about IP infringement. My monkey brain just sees mechanical dinosaurs and a game that looks fun, and I just say yes please. BlackFrost: The Long Dark 2 is a highly anticipated sequel to The Long Dark, a survival game set in the harsh, frozen wilderness. Developed by Hinterland, this new installment takes the survival genre even further, introducing new environments, expanded survival mechanics, and a deepened narrative. Players will once again face the challenge of surviving in a brutal, unforgiving world, but with new weather features, wildlife threats, and a more complex survival elements. With its atmospheric storytelling and focus on realism, BlackFrost promises to deliver an even more immersive and intense experience, pushing the boundaries of what it means to survive in the wilderness. The Long Dark is another game I played back in the preview program on Xbox One, and I love this game and the slow, tense survival situations it puts you in. I'm excited to see it in an urban environment with modern graphics and mechanics. Now, Subnautica 2 is the sequel to the critically acclaimed underwater survival game Subnautica, developed by Unknown Worlds Entertainment. This new chapter takes players to an even more exotic and dangerous aquatic world, where they must once again survive by gathering resources, crafting equipment, and exploring vast alien oceans. This game expands on the original mechanics with new environments, creatures, and a deeper focus on a story-driven exploration. With improved visuals, innovative gameplay systems, and a stronger narrative, Subnautica 2 promises to offer an even more immersive and thrilling experience beneath the waves. Subnautica has been on my list of games to play for so many years, but the lack of co-op is what kept me off of it. Maybe I'll do a YouTube series on it though. I'm so excited to finally be able to try a co-op Subnautica experience where I will undoubtedly be jump scared by many fish. Now, Zeverland is an upcoming open world survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world where players must navigate a decaying, overrun environment filled with dangers and mysteries. Set in a unique, ever-changing landscape, Zeverland challenges players to scavenge for resources, craft tools, and build safe havens whilst defending against hostile creatures and rival factions. Zeverland reminds me a bit of State of Decay, but with more of a cartoony aesthetic. I also love the highly customizable vehicles, which is just something I love in every game that has it. Add in the co-op multiplayer and the ability to play as a zombie, and I'm so heavily on board with this game. Please come out soon, I really want to play this. The Altars is an upcoming narrative-driven puzzle adventure game that blends emotional storytelling with mind-blending mechanics. Players take on the role of a character navigating a surreal, dreamlike world filled with alternate realities and personal choices. Each altar represents a different version of the protagonist, and players must solve puzzles and confront their own decisions and desires across multiple timelines. The Altars is something that really interests me. It looks so unique and quirky, and honestly I won't be looking any further into the game until it comes out. It's the kind of game I want to be surprised and confused by. In this game you and multiple alternate versions of yourself are trying to live on a mobile base and survive as you move throughout the planet. Whilst doing this, you have to manage relationships with each of your alter egos who have all had different life experiences, so have different personalities. Honestly, it's just the unique nature of this game that has drawn me in, and I'm excited to figure out what the fuck is going on with it. Space Engineers 2 is a sequel to the popular sandbox space simulation game Space Engineers, developed by Keen Software House. Expanding on the original's formula, Space Engineers 2 offers an even more immersive and expansive experience, featuring enhanced physics, new building tools, and improved graphics. I've always wanted to try Space Engineers since watching Soviet Womble's Bullshittery series, but it's not the sort of game I would play alone. I've never managed to convince my friends to try it with me. I'm hoping the release of a sequel will be enough to motivate them to try it out with me. StarRupture is an upcoming game from the creators of Green Hell. StarRupture features base building, exploration, combat, and resource management, and it is set on an alien planet torn by a catastrophic cycle of destruction caused by its life-giving star. Now this is another open world base building survival game, and that's already enough to tempt me. My friends are always trying to get me to play Satisfactory with them, but it just looks a bit too boring to me. I feel like StarRupture might be a blend where it's adding things to shoot, and this might be enough to tempt me into this kind of game with them. Blind Descent is an upcoming survival game that combines psychological thriller elements with intense exploration. Set in an eerie underground world, players take on the role of a character navigating a vast network of dark, treacherous tunnels where the light is scarce and the dangers lurk at every turn. As they delve deeper into the darkness, they must solve puzzles, manage limited resources, and avoid terrifying creatures. The game emphasizes atmosphere and tension with a focus on the player choice and survival under pressure. Again, Open world survival base building. I'm easily pleased by this. But honestly, with this game, it's the unique setting that has me wanting to hop in and explore it. Being set below the surface of Mars is sure to be intriguing to me. Okay, now this one's a little bit different. Jump Ship is a mission-based co-op FPS for up to 4 players, where you are the crew of a spaceship. You can transition seamlessly from crewing the ship to on-foot exploration and spacewalks. Engage in intense battles both on the ground and in space, and always keep your ship upgraded and intact. Teamwork is key for survival and victory in Jump Ship. As a huge fan of Star Citizen and The Expanse, I love anything space travel related. This looks like the kind of game that I'll have lots of fun screaming at my stupid friends while also being screamed at for being stupid, with rare moments where we all are on the same brain length and pop the fuck off and have a lot of fun. Now, Civilization 7 is the next installment in the iconic Civilization strategy game series. Developed by Firaxis Games, building on the franchise's classic formula, Civilization 7 allows players to lead a civilization from the dawn of history into the future, guiding their people through key decisions in diplomacy, warfare, culture, and science. I love map-based strategy games, especially the Total War series, Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, and Civilization. I'm super excited about the next Civ game. It's always something me and my friends will crawl out from under our rocks to play 100 hours a week for 3 weeks on, and then not talk to each other for another 6 months after. I can't wait for this game. But yeah, that's the list of all the games that I'm excited about that come to mind right now. I'm sure I've missed so many, so be sure to let me know in the comments. Also, let me know which of these games you're excited about too. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.